Paul, you haven't been into the site yet, have you?
I just dialed it up just now, and so effectively no.
All right, let's do this. I've got it open in another screen. I think one of the best things I could do for you guys, because this is how I'm getting ready to launch Helping Dealers, is to show you the site and basically what to expect when you get in it. So I've got it in another screen. I'm going to pull that up and share it with you, and I've got a user account in there that I can become. So can you guys see the back end of my site right there?
I was popping back and forth. Bear with me.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to switch to this account I call Jimmy Curtis.
Okay.
And I've got this account assigned to fixed operations, just like you guys.
Okay.
And I assigned you guys the whole, see, I get all the notifications now that says membership enrolled, course enrolled, course enrolled, course enrolled, course enrolled. There are a couple of different ways to do fixed operations in the Manana No Mas frame set. One is to just do the fixed operations course, right? Just fixed operations. And then the other is to do the fixed operations membership, which involves other courses like fixed operations and things like that. So if I go into my courses, this will pop up. If I go into my courses, you're going to see that I've got, you know, some goal setting, how to overcome shitty decisions, what is a KPI,
Nice.
and things like that. And I've got the fixed operations membership there.
Gotcha.
I'm going to go up to course catalog. And I've got more options on my screen, obviously, because I show other people other courses. But
Sure.
we'll go into fixed operations down here at the bottom. Old Jimmy here is already enrolled. So I've got a message here. It's, you know, make more money with fixed operations, and then welcome people to the course load. And then just yesterday, I added in lessons in communication, the soft skills. And Troy,
Fabulous.
when you were in, what you saw was internal branding and service writing in black and white. And service writing in black and white, these are all excerpts that are directly from the book that I had written and published and what I started to teach the Ducati course with. And then, you know, over the last 10 years, I've developed, you know, real workshop course load. And that is what started to go in here. So lessons in communication is all the soft skills. It's all the how to meet and greet, recognize communication styles, how to have confidence behind the counter, you know, what a customer thinks is reality, overcoming objections when you go to sell something, and then complaint resolution. So if I go to like overcoming objections, and the idea with this is to treat each thing separate. So it's a resource, right? So let's say Joe's on the counter and, you know, you're back there with him and you see him really going at it with a customer, and, you know, they're arguing, yelling, screaming. The guy says, I'm going to kick your ass in the parking lot, blah, blah, blah. Well, you bring it, I'll clock out and whoop your ass with you. Boom, boom, right? And then that happens. And you're sitting there going, holy crap, what was that? You know, dude, there's an online resource. You need to get back on Kurt's website and look at conflict resolution, brother, because it doesn't involve kicking the customer's ass in the parking lot. And so it's meant to break things into small workable sections. So each of these sections is meant to be done in like 5 to 10 minutes and not 45 minutes or an hour.
Sure.
So overcoming objections, you know, it says this could be a course by itself. It's just a brief overview. And then it talks about the 3 root objections, which are time, money, or trust. And then there's a quick video here that basically goes through the same thing.
Okay.
And so as they finish stuff, if they want to track themselves for credit for finishing the course, and I think this is important for you guys to hear at this point, I'm going to make this available as workshops like what I used to do on the road, like 2-day workshops. Let's get 10 or 12 dealers together at a hotel and actually do a workshop with, you know, 10 or 15 people in a room. And that's where a lot of really good learning happens. But for
I'm a big fan of peer learning. I just, you know, I mean, there are obviously the same issues over and over and over again.
Yeah,
But we all solve them a little bit differently, and not everything works. My way doesn't work for everybody,
exactly.
even my own guys. So
Yeah. And it's so cool when you get the peer people together. It's not just like, here's a great example. You guys remember Eric Madsen at Ducati?
never heard of him. Thank
Never heard
God.
of him. He
Jesus.
would get
Did you know Eric, Troy?
Yes.
Okay.
he would get so pissed off after fixed operations training because he'd say, I don't get it. He goes, for 4 years I've been telling these guys to do A, B, and C. He goes, they go to your 2-day class and they go back and start changing everything and everything starts to work. And then they're like, Kurt's class was awesome. I just learned how to do this. And he's like, I've been telling you for 5 years. But it's the peer learning.
Communication styles.
Yeah, it's the extra voice. It's that one more stamp of approval that says, hey, this is a good idea. You should try this. And a lot of times the workshop is what cements it all together. In order to qualify to come to the workshop, I'm going to be checking people's records to make sure that they actually did the course load. So when someone does a course, they should mark it complete. And then after they mark it complete, you'll see my little circle of death up here at the top of the screen is thinking. And and then you'll see I get a notification that I completed the lesson, and then my progress bar keeps working across. Okay. So as I would do all the lessons, my bar would fill all the way up. And then of course on my end, I get a report that says, these 10 students have finished this course. And then of course they're all qualified to come to the 2-day workshop. I have to have people do the workload before coming to the workshop because you want the workshop to be at this level when it starts, so you can be at this level when it finishes. If everyone starts out here, it's really difficult to get to the top.
Troy, were you around when they started doing the checking the prerequisites for Ducati training?
That's about halfway. Me and Kurt kind of came in at the same time.
That was a big surprise to a lot of dealers.
When the first time I got a phone call that said, "What do you mean you sent my guy home?" that was a little unusual, but
what the hell? You gotta invest a little bit into the process.
And at the end, it was amazing to see the difference in the quality of technician from when I started that program to when I left that program. And then, the dealers that took the 2-day workshop, they all on average sustained a 47% growth in parts and labor sales. So, and that's an average. Like the place up in Canada, up in Vancouver, they did training 1 year. And then the next year they came to training. And in Canada, it was completely different. Like their pay scales are different and everything. So
sure.
I'd be teaching and they'd be arguing with me, telling me they couldn't do that in Canada because if we do that, everybody will quit. And I'm like, business is business. Let's just do this. And then, so one shop did it, but they didn't just do it. He literally took notes and implemented almost everything I said to do. And so I went back a year later, and this one guy's giving me like this crazy look, the whole class, and finally on halfway through the second day, I said, dude, you're looking at me like you don't believe what I'm saying. Where's that coming from? Because I can't have you get done with class and think that this was a waste of your time. And he goes, no. I just can't believe this is the same class my coworker took last year. We're up $650,000 since he took your class last year.
That's real money in anybody's book.
And dude, you could hear a pin drop after that. The entire class was glued to every word I said. We did a dealer visit, me and Steve Hicks. We visited the dealer after class. And when I walked in, it was like winning an Emmy or a Grammy. It was like they rolled out the red carpet.
Nice.
The owner came out, the general manager, the sales manager, the parts manager. And they're like, I said, show me what you've done. And he walked me through the shop and he's like, this is the calendar I have for each technician. This is when the parts are coming. This is when the job's scheduled for re-repair. This is this is that. I mean, went through the whole thing. This is when we meet with the parts guy. This is when we meet with the sales guy, and just put the whole program together. And they still had a fiscal quarter to go. So they were projecting to increase business by over $1 million in a year. So
Yeah, they do.
when you guys have people signed up into the website, if there's any issues whatsoever, you just click the contact us link and that creates a ticket for me. It comes through my cell phone, comes through my laptop. I mean, it basically pings me wherever, because if something goes wrong with this site, this is one of my primary things that I need to keep going. So if there's any issues or if you need to reach me, this is probably one of the best ways to reach me.
Perfect.
This thing's connected to like 3 separate tools, man. I've got it backed up upon backed up just to make sure that things don't drop through the cracks. And then that's really it. I mean, if you guys can get through the fixed ops segment and then maybe take a look at that KPIs course, Troy, I think that the KPIs course is interesting. I do the whole thing on a bicycle for the video, which to me I thought was fun. But
I thought it was kind of funny actually watching a couple of the vids.
yeah, what it's meant to do is it's meant to make people think outside the box, right? Like you might be looking at how many ROs I generate a day or how many ROs I generate a week, what percentage is warranty or customer pay, what percentage is parts versus labor, what percentage is, how many lines per RO. And you might have some basic metrics that you're looking at. But what I'm trying to do is get people to say, okay, maybe there's other stuff that I could be tracking. Maybe there's something else that I could be looking at that would tell me the health of my business. How long have I had technicians employed before there's turnover? What are the main causes for turnover? Are they really leaving for $1 an hour down the street? Or was there something else behind that exodus, right? And so I want people to be able to take a look at data that's trackable, and take a look at what they are tracking, and then take a look at additional things that they might want to track, and then analyze things that you're tracking to see if it's worthless or not. Dude, there is tons of, like, if you've ever been in a 20 group and they gather all these dealers up in a room and start going over reports, half the conversation is a waste because it has nothing to do with the strength of your business. It has to do with who's got the biggest set of privates in the room, and it has nothing to do with, paying your mortgage that month. So, I think it's real interesting to look at that KPIs thing, but do it with an open mind to how do you walk into your shop with a fresh view and go, okay, what are the things I should be looking at? Like I'll do a step study at a shop and say, okay, your tire machine's on the wrong side of the room. Your parts are being, staged on the wrong wall next to the parts department. I mean, there's things like that I can change that'll increase productivity, and I'll see a difference in cash flow within 30 days. So that to me is stuff that I might track or look at.
Everything's
one of those
for me. I got way too many steps in my day.
Way too many steps in the day.
Hey, I already got rid of most of them.
Is there anything else on the site that you guys want to see before I close down the share screen?
No, I think we're good.
Okay.